Cigar Lounge here at Coast Cigar. I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Mort, Bones, and myself, Maverick, welcoming you to the show. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, guys.
Well, it was one of them days where I didn't feel like getting out of the sack.
Me neither.
And I know you haven't by one of your posts.
Been up like 6 hours.
Yeah, so I'm walking on that too,
Yeah.
or riding on that, or laying on that, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
But it's very warm already today.
Oh yes, toasted.
And we're in Mississippi, and we say it every year. It's hot out there, but this is where we choose to live, and we love it because we can walk into air conditioning and not have to worry about
That's
it.
right. So today we're smoking the Perdomo 10th anniversary sun grown.
Yes.
It's a return back to some of our previous ones, but
Yeah.
it was kind of necessary today. Yeah, that's just the way.
They won't be able to see if this is how hot.
Yeah.
On Mr. Smart.
Yeah.
And
Anyway.
Bones and Mav are drinking coffee this morning, and
Oh yes.
I'm doing the H2O thing.
We are drinking Fort Finley Coffee and Donut Shop out of Fort Finley, Ohio. Commuter medium. Nice.
Is that like a medium roast? It tastes like medium to light to me today.
Yeah,
It's a
maybe
little,
medium.
it's more on the.
It's very good. I like it.
I don't know how he tastes coffee. I don't have fucking opinion.
I taste it.
He tastes coffee and cream.
Well, first, my prayers go out to all the folks in Texas since we had those floods since the last show.
Yes.
But one of the things I have on that, and you probably read the article, I don't think you probably haven't seen it. The sheriff from Austin was under fire because I think it was the governor or somebody in Texas requested the city of Austin has the best water recovery team, one of the best in the nation. And they train with all that shit that they're at. Well, when they requested their help, he denied it. He said, all because they're having like a $800,000 money dispute with the city. So he denied sending help until 2 days after it will happen. Well, that could have saved a few lives possibly. You don't know.
You don't know for
yeah,
sure.
But it could have.
You
But why
can't-
would he deny that?
You can't really pin that on him, but I mean, I see the slow response. However, Homeland Security, Christy Noem and her crew were boots on the ground in no time.
Oh, absolutely. I like
There was stories of heroic rescues by the rescue divers from the Coast Guard. One guy saved like 160 people from the river.
Wow.
And he was just this was his first actual save, his
Wow.
first rescue.
Wow.
I couldn't imagine that. That's right. I mean, the whole family, they lost all the kids.
I know.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's a tragedy. Could it have been avoided? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
You don't know that's coming. That's why they pull it.
Well, they do know it's coming, but there's just not enough time,
Yeah.
especially that early in the morning when most people are asleep.
Yeah, it was 4 in the morning or something like
I
that
mean-
when the alert went out.
Think about it. I don't sleep with anything in my room because I don't
No.
want to be interrupted while I'm sleeping.
Right.
And you know how the alerts are around here. You get a
Mhm.
thunderstorm and they're going to send an alert out. Severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah.
I don't
right.
give a crap about that when I'm sleeping.
No.
We get a lot of flood warnings around here, but it's usually away from us. But we get the one.
We'll get the warning.
It's in Jackson County. Jackson County is pretty freaking big.
When we're up in Ohio, we actually picked up the Amber alerts for that area.
Yeah,
we were there. And at 2 o'clock in the morning,
On this last trip.
2 o'clock in the morning,
Really?
the Amber alert went off on both my phone and hers.
Yeah, sure.
You know,
It's
we're in a
very
hotel
loud.
room.
Yeah.
We're in a hotel room,
That's
so
fucking loud.
loud.
it is loud.
It woke us right up.
I came straight out of the bed. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
So
Because, dude, I don't hear that stuff when I sleep.
Yeah.
a little off that subject, we have, what's today, the 11th?
Yeah.
So we got August. We got less than, what, 55 days for college football?
Yes. Before the ball's in the air. I think it's like 52.
Go Gators, go North.
Go Bucks.
Yes.
So that leads into,
What's up, Wade?
it's already starting. Auburn linebacker D'Angelo Barber was arrested on felony drug trafficking charges. Barber allegedly had in his possession, this is a college football player, 2.5 pounds of marijuana, THC vapes, digital scales, and a lock pistol.
He was
Distribution.
He was distributed. Yeah.
He's going to jail.
Kevin McCluskey, what's up, brother?
No, dude, there's nobody on. But they're just leaving comments on the Facebook.
Okay, good.
That's all right.
You told my friend.
Say hello to him anyway.
Yeah.
It's really a shame when you've got nowadays anyway with a college player because they're getting paid.
Yeah, they got it.
You know, if they're any good, they're getting paid. It's really a shame that they continue doing
You know what?
things like that.
It's a disgrace. It's utterly a disgrace.
You're given a gift. You have
A talent from
you have a
God.
talent. That's right, and you just wasted it.
Yeah.
You're going to prison. And,
Well, that's a
and
fact.
You know what?
What's he going to be wearing when he gets to prison?
An orange jumpsuit.
And a kufi.
Oh, he must wear the goofy.
Goofy hits the floor and they let
And when he lets him go, yeah.
Today is the first TPA, the Tobacco Products Association.
That's right.
Festival down in Florida. I was going to go, but then it's just like, that's a freaking 10-hour drive on myself.
You can do it.
Yeah, but just coming back from Orange Beach last week, and then
You can still make it if you leave right now.
I thought about it.
Kevin, how you doing, buddy?
They're trying to do good things. Just has to do with anything tobacco other than cigarettes, pipe tobacco, cigars, lighters, cutters.
And
You
you,
know what I
you didn't think I feel like going by yourself, huh?
No, it's just a long. But I did kind of find some cheap flights. I probably would have flew in for the rest of the 300.
Breeze Airlines,
Breeze or
Spirit.
That way you gotta sit on the
You have to
wing
go
for
to
that
New
price,
Orleans for Spirit though.
right? Yeah. You gotta sit on the wing for that price.
It's all right. It's only an hour.
Oh, the outside.
Yeah, so me.
And if you've ever watched some of the old shows, there's a gremlin that sits out on the wing.
Yeah, yeah.
That is Twilight Zone.
Yes, it is.
That was a good one.
Yes, it is.
William Shatner.
William Shatner's
Yeah,
the
you
original.
remember that shit? That's cool. But yeah, I mean, I hate to see that. I don't know who you got. Who the state got? Texas. Oh fuck. Where's fucking Cuba?
No,
And it's gonna be a big game.
beat that ass.
It's gonna be a
We're
big
at home.
game.
We got I don't think we have a bad one. I forget who is it?
The Knowles got Alabama first game.
Oh, boy.
In Tallahassee. It's gonna be an interesting game. Yeah. Not the underdog. We all know you gotta watch out for that. We went to Ireland last year and we expected to clobber Georgia Tech and we got our ass. And
Right,
and
that's
set-
right.
That set the tone for the whole season to go 2-10. Again, the 19, 20-year-old kids that we have no control over.
Yes, I've said that many times. You never know what they're doing on their outside life.
Yeah, they're dealing drugs.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
dealing drugs.
Evidently.
Now is he? How long has he been out of the college league? Did he go to the
No,
pros?
he's on the team.
No, he's
Oh,
on.
he's currently on the team.
Well, not anymore.
Not
Well,
anymore.
I'm just saying he was.
Yeah,
he was
on the roster.
rostered on the team.
Yeah.
Well, it's a shot to all of his teammates.
Sure.
Disgrace. He disgraced them,
To his family.
himself, his family, and the university.
We have a member that comes in, not a member. Comes in, a firm believer. From the hood, the inner city. So then you can pull the kid out of the hood, but you can't get the hood out of the kid.
And you know
But
what?
you can't.
But
But you can't.
I believe that too.
I believe you
Just
can
because you grew
also.
up in the hood doesn't mean you're going to be that way.
Because we got a friend at the shop that actually grew up in the inner city.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah. And he did fine.
Yes. You might
We have
remember,
more than fine.
Remember this kid that played for Nebraska, Lawrence Phillips? Remember him? Big ass running back. Good. Goes to the pros, get nothing but trouble. You know, it's like your friend John Moran with the guns.
Yeah.
he didn't have all that. See, that was the problem, and it still is with pro athletes. It's they're afraid to ask for help. Maybe they're just not mature enough to understand
There is help.
how much wealth they've got,
Yes.
right? Because if they grew up in the inner city,
They didn't have
$10 was like 100 to most
Absolutely.
people. To not most
I
people,
understand what
but
you
you
mean.
know where I'm going anyway. $10 is like 100 for some people.
Then you give them millions.
Then you give them millions, and what do? They just go fucking crazy.
Yes, they do.
And
I understand that.
I could understand it as well.
True point.
But they're,
Yeah,
yeah,
true
as
point.
Bone says, to a point. You got to get under control,
You
dude.
think about our lives, we're a lot older than this. I mean,
Oh,
we're
yes.
decades older. But you go back to when you were in the 20s, and the stupid shit we did with our money
Yes.
at 20 years
Yes.
You know, still doing stupid shit at 60.
You know what? But you know what? If you went to the bar and you had 100, you were spending the 100.
until it was gone.
Right. So the next day, out of your check, as long as your bills were paid, you thought you could blow everything,
That's a
and you
pretty
didn't take time for the rainy day.
Right.
good-
You know what I mean?
Not worried about the rent.
And you're borrowing $20 midweek off your boss because you blew everything party.
That's one of the reasons I
And-
joined the military.
And you know what? And that's what a lot of people.
Absolutely.
I had nothing to show for it. I was working for cash off the books.
Mm-hmm. I know all about
And
that.
I had a couple of gold chains. I had a 65 Nova, I had no floorboards in it.
Right.
And I'm living at home. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Yeah. And I realized,
I'll tell you what.
maybe I'll join the military.
You know, we go in, us three gentlemen, with 9 others on the lottery. And if we won it, there'd be things changed. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Things would change, and I know that I would have to be somewhat controlled with how I spent.
Yes. Yes.
So I realize that.
You would need a financial manager.
Are all
Right.
those hats on sale? I want one of fucking each.
With no discipline, with growing up with nothing, and they think I gotta have everything I've ever thought of.
Oh,
So,
let me go get some
I
jet
mean,
skis
you guys
and
know,
coffee.
you've heard me talk about, I'm a big fan of Dave Ramsey.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So I watched his videos. Yesterday there was a video about this guy called into the show, and he says, "Yeah, I've got something that I need to admit to." And Ramsey's like, "Oh man, what is going on?" He says, "I just won $20 million cash out of the lottery, and there's only 2 people in the world that know that I've won that money. My teenage kids don't even know that I've
Right.
won that money."
Can't keep saying.
And Ramsey was very, very excited to hear that, because he says you're going to have a lot of people knocking on your door as soon as they find out you won.
Yes.
He called his kids something kind of like what it really went down to was, I don't want my kids waiting until I die to think that they're going to get a world of it.
Yes.
They're going to be taken care of. They're going to get stuff, not necessarily everything that they want, but they're going to be taken care of. They're still not going to know where the money came from,
Right.
because 2 weeks before they won it, his wife's uncle passed away and left them an inheritance.
Right.
So they're using that as the excuse for the
They
money
had
that
some
they
money.
have.
Yes.
So
Yes.
him and his wife are the only two that know.
Yes. And he's not telling his kids. He says, I'm not going to tell my kids until after they've made their way in the world. Then,
You know-
then we'll let them know.
Remember when Shaquille O'Neal said to his children, "Daddy, we're rich." He says, "I'm rich. You're not."
You know, we both agree that we take care of the family, we help the family out. Nothing to just take care of them. I'm probably just gonna wipe out their house payments or whatever, cars. But I'm a firm believer, and you watch a lot of these financial videos too. We all won the lottery as a group. And the first thing we need to do is get a lawyer. This is my belief, create an LLC. That way, and we're all part of the LLC. And the LLC claims the profit. So when they claim the profit, and then who won? Well, LLC, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah.
I don't think that you can do that in the state of Mississippi.
Oh, you have to name who won,
Yes.
but if the
It could be the LLC.
if
No.
the group
Oh,
won,
now you have to tell who won.
Yeah.
I wonder why. You know
But
what? I wonder why that is.
I'm not for sure, and I don't, right now it's irrelevant
Right.
to the
Right.
conversation. I mean, I understand the precept for that, and I understand the reasoning for it. But the bottom line is, each individual that's within that group, or if they do win a world win of money, they got to take care of their money.
Yeah.
They gotta take care of that. They've gotta shield themselves from the mooches.
right? Because you can see how some of the athletes, they have it every year on, that go broke when they win. They have 300 million, and 5 years later they're broke.
They're broke.
There's no way that that should ever happen.
Look at
Correct.
the local,
Times 10, times 10.
look at the local kid, Booker at Moss Point. He just signed a 2-year extension with the Phoenix Suns for 75 million a year.
Okay.
75 local kid,
Yeah, man.
75 million.
So
That's a ton of money.
my point is, each one of us has relatives
Yes,
that would be calling.
yes,
You have, let's just use air quotes, friends that you don't talk to on a daily basis
right,
that'll be calling.
yes,
And there's going to be 150,000 sad bad luck stories,
yes,
especially out of your circles.
yes,
I mean,
sure.
think about
You know something?
it. Yeah, that
I haven't spoken to most of my cousins or family at all, other than my sisters, since I joined Milford.
think about it.
I don't have,
But they're going to be calling you as soon
and
as they
that's
find
why
out.
you call me all you want. You haven't called me the last 40 years, don't call me now.
Again, going back to some of the things that they tell you,
Yeah,
get rid of your phone.
yeah.
Either turn it off or get a new number.
Get a new number. Yeah, get a new
That's
number.
right, because then only the people that you want to have that number will have that number.
Right.
New number, new email, new everything.
Yeah.
I'm fucking
Yeah.
right. I'm gonna be, and you know, we're all gonna make stupid purchases.
As you should.
We know we should. We got a ton of money. I'm telling you, I went to Verizon yesterday, and this old guy was walking in. I can't say all these companies. Younger than I was. He was just retired from the States. But, he retired military, retired civil service. He's probably close already. He pulled up in this beautiful lime, almost lime green Corvette, brand
Yeah.
spanking new. And I started talking to him. He's retired OR tech out of Keisha, civil service. You know, he did that in the military. I said, so that's your retirement present? He goes, absolutely. That's why I'm parked, way the fuck over there. And it's just, I got the talk on it, right? Oh,
Easy.
Yeah, I was looking them up the other day. They're more than that.
mid-engine, I said, just tell me, two of my dream cars I always wanted were Cadillac or a Corvette. And I would probably go with Corvette first. I said, tell me if I can stick out with OCD. It's mid to end engine. You can fit 2 in the back and 1 in the front. I said, well, I only need room for 1.
One.
So that's good
You
enough.
and your wife, that's all.
That's good enough. But we're gonna make first. Do I want to go out and buy a boat? And this, boats aren't my thing. I'll go out on a boat. I'm not gonna buy one. It's harder one. Yeah, just too much fucking work. Yeah, all that shit. I prefer jet skis, but this isn't the area for jet skis, so we'd have to move somewhere else. But I like it here. I'm not moving. I'm not leaving my friends.
So the bottom line is, we think, hey, more than fast. I got my go.
Payday Friday.
No. Telework Friday.
Yeah, there you go.
Mort, but we'd all make this, that, not stupid, crazy purchase that we dreamed of,
Absolutely.
and that would be fine.
There's a backstory to this guy. He is a follower of Dave Ramsey. He paid his house off, has 2 brand new cars he paid cash for. So he needs nothing.
Right.
Yeah. This is, and Dave asked him straight up, he says, what do you plan on doing for your community? He says, I plan on making anonymous donations to local charity that interests
That
me
he
and my,
dreamed, that he's interested in.
me and my,
That's what I
and
would
my
do.
wife.
You know, we always said that if we came from the town we came from in Nebraska, you always got these kids that want to play sports in high school, play sports in the local club, but their parents can't afford it. Right. So we want to open up maybe a small foundation to help underprivileged kids be able to play sports. Yeah. You know, maybe take care of the high school team.
It got me thinking
There's so
about.
many. There's so many you could do.
It got me thinking about that. We've all kind of got a tie, directly or indirectly, to the Lord is my help.
Yeah.
And they're always needing help. They
Yes.
have a big annual fundraiser. I would like to see somebody that has the means, just go ahead and take care of what needs to be taken care of,
Yes.
right? Second one for me is, I would try to set up something so that no kid goes to school hungry.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that, especially at lunchtime, because you know, there's we've all been there. We've got our lunch money, whatever the case was, and you just can't eat because they're not giving you credit.
Right.
So
Can't put it on the eye.
yeah, make sure that's not an issue for people.
That's a good.
Mine is the homeless. I would have a homeless foundation. I would want to do something for these guys that saved our lives and keep our country safe, the military, for the guys that don't have places to
That's
go.
the tower. That's the first thing.
And I would do something for the Jackson County, since I live in here, animal shelter. That's three
so
of my
that they
things.
never need dog
Nothing,
or cat food.
nothing.
You can become
You know
a
what I mean?
full-time cat guy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can go over there and feed them.
Yeah, but you know what? That's my three
I,
off
mean,
the
I,
top.
I get that, and that's always been kind of a sticky thing in the back of my head.
Steve Ann.
Because you know they do the thing periodically. You probably get the same messages. We're out of food.
Yeah.
You know,
Can
can you drop
Bring a
some
bag. Yeah, bring a bag.
Either drop a bag over at the shelter or send Tractor Supply money or
Yeah,
wherever
yeah,
they pick
yeah,
up
yeah.
their food, right?
Yeah, sure.
And they can go in there and be blessed with 100 bags.
We have more than one food
Or
shelter in Ocean Springs.
Good morning, Kevin.
No,
How you doing, my
I
friend?
know the one is a church on Martin Luther. Every so often you see that whole line up.
Yeah, but it's not a daily. Lord is my help is the only daily.
No, I'm
Yeah.
funding.
But that's some of the things I like, and especially I would do it. Because Joe works for Lord of My Help, volunteered there a lot of hours. I would do something as in his name. You know what I mean? I would do that for the Lord is My Help. So, when I see somebody, when I drive down the beach and there's a guy searching out of a trash can, I pull over a little bit and throw him a fin. You know what I mean? It ain't much. I throw him a fin, maybe to get a coffee or a little sandwich or something like that. I'm thinking, who wants to eat out of a trash can? No matter if you have psychological problems, if you have a drug problem, if you have an alcohol problem, you're eating out of a freaking trash can.
So you talk about that when we were in Las Vegas. Scotty Too Hottie and the families, we were there for a cigar thing a couple of years back. We're sitting in a burger joint, and the homeless guys would come in, go through the trash can, get a cup, and they'd go fill it up with a soda. If there was, burgers left over that you and I wouldn't eat, they're digging for that. So we're sitting there, and we overordered, obviously.
You always do.
And it's like, well, I'm not throwing this away. I'm just not going to do it. There was a little bit of trepidation, I guess, is a good word. They're scared to approach the homeless, and because you're afraid of what's going to happen, right? So it's like, I'm going to take it to him. This guy's sitting over in the lobby, just drinking out of the cup that he pulled out of the stuff out of the trash. I'm sorry, it's stuff that we didn't want. He says, man, it's better than digging through the trash.
There's terrible. I think a couple months ago, we pulled in the circuit deck. The homeless guy sitting right up the front with his bicycle and his dog. And even if it's somebody that's not acting homeless, this guy he looked the part. So I just gave her 20 and said, "Look at this guy. He don't look like he's going to go get you. He looks more like he's hungry than he is."
Anything else. And but that's important. You know what? You can't say, here, you only can do this. It's a gift from your heart, and you just hope they get food and a drink with it. But if they go buy a beer, that's on them. You're doing it from your heart.
It is on them, but I'm one of those that I don't.
You're a little eerie.
I don't want to be the guy that encourages that type of behavior.
Yeah, yes, I understand that.
Yeah, so I have in the past. I haven't done it in a long time, but I have in the past stopped by like Whataburger or someplace and picked up a sack of burgers for that purpose.
Yeah,
You see them on the side.
It's nice.
I'm hungry. Hey, you want a hamburger? Well, I'd rather have cash. Okay. Yep, I'm out. I'll go find somebody else.
I'm a homeless veteran. Okay, show me your ID card.
If you're hungry, you're going to take the food. The sack.
Oh, you're going to take it.
Yeah. To say I need the money. Well, that's when I started really looking at the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
so about these guys are professionals.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
Oh, there's somebody who does it, that's their job.
they'll finish
Begging.
they'll finish work at whenever they decide they got enough, hop in their Mercedes or whatever,
Yeah.
and go to their $200,000
That's
home.
exactly true. When we were in Germany, the insurance company gave me one for our boss out.
Patrick?
He's out of Kansas, and her and her friend, our friend, did a lot of folks.
Yeah.
So they see all the homeless up at the castle, and they get up there and wait. He said, "Don't give any of them any money." He said, "If you sit and watch, by the end of the day, they're going to get up, go around the corner, go up into the parking lot, and get a Mercedes or an Audi or something, and go on their way." Yeah, I personally can't. I wouldn't do it. Back on the street, I mean, but we're set. All three of us are set. We don't have to worry about places.
Right.
We got places stuff.
Yeah, that's
We're not super wealthy, but we did right with our shit, and
we're doing
we're
okay.
gonna enjoy the time. I'm not gonna give it away, but
You know what? It's important that you do something instead of going out and buying chains and watches and
Right.
cars and all that kind of stuff, which we see in athletes. And it's they don't seem to get it out of their system. They just continue doing it over and over again.
then baseball players gonna have the big old chains bouncing around. Football players, you know, the perfect example was Odell Beckham was trying to make a comeback. Remember?
He
He
wore
was
the
on
watch.
the field with $230 Rolex on the field. Dude, what are you
$230,000.
wearing a $230,000 watch while you're playing football? Right. That can easily get.
You know what? He did it because of his arrogance.
Sure.
His arrogance
Absolutely.
took over that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He says, "Oh, I don't care if it breaks," because he could just go to another
I
one,
get it
which it
fixed.
wouldn't really break, but
I get it fixed.
yeah, I'll just get it fixed, and that's the end of it.
Yeah,
But you know what? We all decide there's
Nobody's
things that
fucking
we
throw it out.
help others. That's the important thing.
So
Your family and you help others.
I'm going to take this back to Bones' headlines and our thoughts with the folks in Texas. Right now, that's where the need is.
Yes.
So you might not like this. Not that you won't like this. I'm sorry. I know you don't like this player. But I saw this morning where Baker Mayfield with 3 planes in, loaded with food, and they know that was him because on the side of it said Baker Mayfield Foundation. So they said he flew in 3.
Good for him.
You know what?
I know all of the pro teams in Texas have pulled their money together
And
they've
they're
raised
getting help.
well over $1 million.
Well, shit, remember a couple years ago when Houston flooded?
Yeah.
And
I do.
There's
I took
one of the-
load of stuff over there.
J.J. Watt, it was one of the Watt brothers, J.J. Watt. I think he raised like $30 million.
Yes, he did. That's
We
exactly
took a
right.
load of water in a U-Haul.
Yeah, you almost.
You know what, too? Some foundation, like you're talking about players, what's going to have a $12 million bonus, Bryce Harper for the Philly. He donated the whole $12 million. That's a lot of dough.
So I know I'm going to piss off the panel. We'll leave it at this, and we'll talk about the coffee and cigars. The Clinton Foundation has moved into Texas. Chelsea Clinton is now raising money for the people.
They better keep an eye on that shit.
I'm telling you right now, folks, don't give a penny to that foundation. What they did to the people in I think it's Haiti,
yes.
where their big claim to fame was.
Yeah.
The Clinton Foundation, they robbed that foundation blind. That's what the Clinton family did, and the people in Haiti got dead.
You're a real pig if you do that.
Absolutely.
The
So
I'm sorry.
don't give them a penny. Forget them. Go with either the Red Cross or one of the other groups.
They're
That's
reputable, real deal people.
yeah, like
Come back cool.
the Mississippi or not the Mississippi, but the Methodist response.
Yeah.
There's a lot of faith-based responses in place right now.
It's going to help them.
Phone scams.
Get it, get that and get it going.
Should I send that? Should I send that? Sammy said, "Can I get $20?"
No,
But I said, "For $20, I'll send you one soda."
Matt, what do you think about the
I think I
coffee
haven't
and
had
cigar?
the coffee. You know, as you know, I loaded with cream, but I still taste the coffee. We all decided last week or the week before we're not going to give it a numbers rating. We're just going to give it, do we like it or do we not? Like a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
I'm still giving a number rating.
Okay, yeah, you decided that. Me and Bones said we're going to do the Coffee, very good. I enjoyed it. I definitely drink it again.
And again and again.
Yes.
Cigar?
I haven't had a 10th anniversary Perdomo in a long time. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Sun grown was really good.
Okay.
Very good.
Bones?
I like the sun grown. Yep. I prefer the 20th, not the 20th, the 12th. Yeah. It's great. I mean, all Perdomo, they're pretty solid. They burn well. They
Constructed
They
all.
smoke, they smoke well, they taste good. They're not that expensive as some other stuff, right? You know, 'cause people think highly of this shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when it's
My stuff is
okay,
gold.
when it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean, it's the smoke. That's where it's like, I like it, I don't like it. I'll smoke it again, without a doubt. I would buy it, somebody gave it to me, I smoke, I smoke just about anything, it's free. The coffee is good. It's I find it says medium roast, but I find it more on the mild side.
Okay.
Okay. Tasty, but good. I'd buy both again, drink that again, smoke this again, and go. I do want to say one thing before you get into your final. I did finally get to smoke, and I hated to admit this. The first legacy I smoked, I wasn't too cold. Then I smoked a Maduro Gorda. I was like, Mikey Silver. I didn't want to like it. I went and had attention. It's not going to be as good as people think. But it's a pretty damn good cigar. Okay. I would smoke that again. Would I rank it above the 12? But these two, definitely smoke and drink.
I had a very similar experience. We were able to, when we were up in Ohio, we were able to see all of the legacies that were out. And I had the opportunity to get the ones that I haven't tried, with the exception of I'm not doing.
Right. I understand that.
I still say at this point, and it's not an affront to Perdomo. It's not. I'm not dissing them whatsoever. I think they need to sit on the shelf a little longer than they have.
Okay.
When a cigar ages, it gets better and better and
I
better.
told you about that the other
Keeps
day.
getting better,
Yes.
right?
Sammy,
So,
how long did they let him sit?
I don't know how long they let them sit. I'm afraid that they may have pushed them out a little too fast.
Okay.
I'm not saying it was terrible. I'm just saying for all of the, that's a bad word with regards to cigars, in my
Okay.
opinion.
Okay.
With all the discussions and everybody that's talked about the legacy, I like the story behind it. I really do.
Absolutely.
I think it's an amazing story that the son is following in his dad's footsteps and blended a cigar that basically is a tribute to the legacy of Perdomo.
Yes.
Sammy said they let it sit 10 years.
Wow.
That's a long time.
I just felt like some of these other ones, 10th, the 12th, the 30th, not too many people speak too highly of the 20th either. The legacy is not a bad cigar. I would definitely smoke it again. I would let it sit in my humidor for about 6 months and then and see what happens. This cigar, it's a solid choice. The 10th anniversary is, I think it's overlooked.
I think so too.
Because they look at, oh, it's only 10 years old.
Yeah.
I'll go with the 30 years old. Well, it's not necessarily,
that way.
It's not necessarily the best.
Right.
But this is an overlooked cigar by a lot of people, especially the sun growns. They go for Connecticut or they go for Maduro. They leave the sun grown out thinking it's not going to be that good.
Right.
And it really is.
We're talking about that
very good cigar.
The Habano or Connecticut.
Mhm.
Not a lot of people can tell the difference between the two.
Right.
And we all know it's not based on the color of the wrapper. I mean, that's a starting point. Dark wrapper, you can assume it's
Maduro.
Maduro, it's dark. But you can have Maduro wrapper and have everything inside light.
Well,
we don't know.
if you look at wrappers, before I give my final, this would look like a Habano,
Yes.
and it's a sungrown.
Yes.
So, just looking at a wrapper without a label on it, you can't deduce anything about what it would look like. So cigar, and I'm not drinking coffee, so I can't give a rating on the coffee. I have found myself moving away from the super extra bold and going with just regular bold or maybe even be tone it down a little bit. Really? Actually, I found that there's more caffeine in the light roast and medium roast than there is in dark roast. Dark roast.
What is
And
that?
you want the food.
caffeine label. I just read it.
Really?
Yes.
And I've heard that before too.
So this cigar, I'm going to give it a 9.3.
Great.
It's like I said, I think it's very overlooked, and I'm glad that it was chosen today to give it another shot, and I'm pleasantly surprised. So
Just,
yeah, 9.3.
just to let people know, this is all our own personal opinion. This isn't based on anything that anybody else said. Because a lot of people say, well, smoke this, you're gonna get chocolate or earth or citrus or whatever. Sometimes I don't even taste like that. Just the cigar just smokes well, tastes good.
And that's it.
I'm good with it.
That's
End of
it.
discussion.
Right. Let me add too. I smoked 2 of the legacies.
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed by the first one. The second one I had about a week later, it was very good.
Okay.
It was very good. That's all.
I anticipate it to be better the longer it sits.
And I think you're right. As you know, I told you, I showed you a cigar from Cigar for Warriors. It was in my humidor. I first tasted it. It was lousy when I opened the box the first time. I let it sit. I didn't realize it was in my humidor for over a year. It was very good.
And that was the Oscar Valdez.
Yes, and you know what? When you do let them sit in your humidor and they mature or whatever,
Yeah.
they're very good.
They do get better.
And sometimes
Yeah.
they say if you let it sit too long, they lose flavor. But I've always
I've never experienced that.
I've always
Me
been on the impression you go to the yard.
I've never experienced
The
one that's
lesser.
gone bad.
Yeah, well, that's
Oh, there's no bad. Well, no, I almost said something.
So
I almost said
I'll-
there's no bad cigar. They're all
There are bad cigars.
oh yes.
I've got the label of one.
Oh, absolutely.
During the pandemic, I started going through my humidor and looking at cigars, and because what do? You're bored. You're watching Netflix and you're doing stuff.
Right.
So I was reorganizing the humidor. I got my stand-up humidor instead of
The box.
box.
Yes.
So I was setting everything up, and I looked at this one cigar, and I looked at the price tag on it. It said the epitome. So I was like, I don't remember ever going to the epitome in Edgewater Mall to buy a cigar.
Right.
I just don't remember doing that. And then it dawned on me. It was the epitome in Mobile. And that cigar was almost 10 years old.
Wow.
Dude, when I smoked it, it was like butter.
There's a,
It
Phew.
used to be one in the mall, yes.
no,
In
in
Mobile.
oh, he had 2 shops.
No, it was just named. It was just
Oh.
the epitome. And when we would go over there Christmas shopping, I'd stop by there and pick up a cigar. I even got a lighter back then that broke, and
Of course it did.
it was supposed to be a lifetime warranty, and the company's out of business.
Lifetime sees you
I
walk
did
out the
that.
door.
Yeah, they good money for a fucking light, and they went out there.
Yeah.
years
So
later.
lifetime warranty doesn't mean shit.
No.
So 9.3 on the cigar. You guys love the coffee. We'll hopefully next week pick up some more on the coffee.
Okay. Are we through? Bones, you got anything?
I don't think so.
More.
No.
And I'm done. So for the 5.5 Legs Virtual Cigar Lounge, we're going to bid you a happy, healthy weekend, and be safe, and God bless us all.
Sammy,
Everyone.
when you coming back, Sammy?
3 weeks.
He's on a 3-week cycle.
Yep.
Just in time.